So there is something really important I want to talk about that in all the videos I've watched, no one has talked about. And how do I begin? I would say when I was around 8 or 9, I had said, I'm not going to have children. I'm not going to have kids. This world is too filthy and I don't want to have any kids. Maybe I'll adopt, maybe. And I never had children. I never even got pregnant in all my life. And trust me, I wasn't careful all the time. But so I think, it's very easy to say, oh, watch what you think, watch what you speak. Your thoughts carry, but it's actually really true. I spoke this into existence at that time. And, this universe, this world is alive and it's listening. It's listening to what your mind is speaking. It's listening to what is rolling off of your tongue. It's listening to your heart and what it is saying without words. So I would say definitely be careful with what you think, how you think, scenarios that come up in your mind, sounds so love and light to say, like, be careful of what you think, or always think positive or twist it to the positive. I hate to say that stuff, but I know I spoke this into existence way back then. So yeah, take that into account, especially if you're someone young, or even if you're not and you're already going through the journey and you are thinking one way or another. Like, just, I would say try to switch things into some sort of positive thought process in your mind, in your heart, on your tongue, all of it. There are many things out there that are listening, so just keep that in mind. Even if you don't believe in the, love and light mumbo jumbo, as some people call it, stuff. It's reality, and the truth is, sometimes the truth is the truth, whether it's you believe it's the truth or not the truth. The truth always stands, right? So my 2 cents there. And all the stuff that I did, looking online, looking at other people, and people that are helping people deal with fibroids or PCOS or any of those kinds of female issues. It's always like, well, sometimes a lot of them say it's the high estrogen, but if you look further, it's actually the progesterone and the estrogen, and everything affects, right? So a lot of them will say, like, get rid of the plastics because it's something. So, I did all those things. I cleared out my pantry, threw away everything was plastic, got everything in glass. As I told you, I was basically vegetarian for half my life, and part of that vegan. Every ounce of information I could soak up and put into action right away, I did that. And my destiny just wasn't to go that way. So, other people's are and may be, breeze, but it wasn't for me. So, do all you can. For me, I didn't want to have surgery. Like I said before, I didn't like to take pills. I didn't want to go to the doctor. Doctors just want to cut you, all that. So I wanted to do it the natural way, and I suffered and severe pain for 8 years. And I think there just comes a point for some people, certainly for me, where I was like, okay, this is enough, because I wasn't living, not able to work. You're getting at least, if you're lucky, a week just sucked out of your life every month, because sometimes it's more because you have to go through the pain before you even start, or sometimes you have pain well after you've stopped. And sometimes a lot of times also with fibroids, your period is erratic, so it'll come and it'll go. And that's what started happening last year, right around the time of Maya Sharona. Man, things got crazy. And another thing which I think woke another beast is, at that time I think I was looking at doing like a keto type of lifestyle, but vegan. So I was eating higher fat, but it was all vegan. And my period started changing as of last year, beginning of last year, 2020. It was getting so heavy. The pain was always there. The severe pain was always there. But I had first month, I had a couple of them, but the first month it happened, I had no pain. I had no pain. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. But what happened? I was dropping clots with no pain, but I swear to God, they were like as big of a diameter. It's like an orange. I mean, they were just, I'm trying to watch my language, but somehow it just, because there's certain words that like give that power, So, but it was bananas. I mean, it was off the charts ridiculous and traumatizing. So yeah, that started the beginning of last year, and sometimes I would have an okay month where it wasn't as much pain, so I thought I could get through it. Sometimes I would be hemorrhaging, and literally just before surgery, I was supposed to start my period on the day of surgery. So I had my period the month before, and 2 weeks later I started again, had a full-blown period. So I actually ended up getting rid of it before surgery, but so, fibroids will do things like that to you, I guess. So I've read, so I've lived. And even though you can, for me, I didn't have to get a blood transfusion, right? But so I consider that like not that severe, but the pain was ridiculous. So, it's always something, right? In some way you get affected. Well, some women don't get affected. They have them and they don't get affected. But everything was getting affected. But yeah, so I tried that keto business, and that started happening. And then also something which I didn't realize was an issue until I started that keto business was keto type way of eating, vegan style. I started getting pain in my stomach every day, because I'd get up early and walk, and I was walking and just in so much pain in my stomach area, upper stomach area. Well, okay, so then months later, I end up in the ER, and I have a gallstone. And I have read that somehow these things are correlated, or they're connected. The fibroid issue and the gallstone, gallbladder issue seem to be somehow connected. I mean, if you think about it, right? Every organ is connected, so it makes sense. But somehow these two things, what I found is when one was having its way with me, the other one would sit back and not bother me. and then they would switch. So they'd have a turn with me, whether it was the gallbladder acting up or the period pain acting up or whatever. So that's another thing I still have to deal with, but later. Not right now. So, yeah, I just wanted to make it like super important that, you know, watch what you even speak inside your mind to yourself. Because thoughts really do carry waves. And many things are listening for your good and your bad, right? But in the beginning, you know, like I said, when I was 8 or 9, I said, no, I never wanted to have kids. And that carried through for many years. And things changed and I wanted to get pregnant. So that's why I held on so long too. I wanted to have a baby, and it didn't happen. Obviously it didn't work out, but I had a point. I forgot my point. It's like you want to make sure that you put these certain things in here, but then you lose your point. Oh, so it's like as soon as it comes, it goes with the wind. Because I liked the, you know, natural way of life and herbs and, you know, all of that. I didn't want to have my organs cut out, right? Because you feel like, or I have heard things that, you know, once you have a hysterectomy, later on, you're going to have heart problems or you're going to get cancer or some other like horrible health problem is going to come to you. Because, you know, everything works in tandem, like a missing link. So I didn't want doctors to be cutting out my uterus and whatever else. So, you know, I went through all my tears of, I can't have a baby. I went through all that for years, you know. And I'm not trying to make light, but, you know, here I am. So I went through all the tears of I guess, holding on to hope and being sad about it and crying about it and all that stuff. I think a few things have come to me since, and I think we get, first of all, before surgery, I'm thinking to myself, people sign up for this shit? Like, really? People sign up, okay? Yes, there are those people who have emergencies and they need to go to the hospital and they need to have surgery. But so many of us in the world sign up to have an elective surgery. Who says, yeah, would you like to get cut on and have pieces of your body taken away? And you're going, me, pick me. Like, who does that? Who does that, right? So, who does that? But there I was, after finally making the decision. I do that, I guess. But I had to make a decision. I had to get, at some point you have to move out of the heart and move to another form of reasoning, another place of reasoning. Yeah. So in order for me to function and in order for me to live like a full life, not like a half-ass life, but like a full life, This right now is the only way. It's just is, you know. And then more thoughts come, more things are given. We get so attached to these bodies. And yes, it's our body. It carries us, right? Through life, through the world. And you can use it for good. You can use it for bad, like almost everything else, right? But we as a society, I feel, get so attached to this bag of bones. Literally, bag of bones, bag of shit. Like a bag of everything really nasty, you know? I'm talking about the actual physical body. We get so attached to it that we're plumping lips, getting chi-chis, booties, you know, sucking fat. I mean, okay, I wouldn't mind a little fat sucked, but you get my point. We get so attached to this that we lose the point. And that was another thing too. I thought to myself, oh my gosh, you get those crazy mind thoughts like, oh, this is the uterus, this is my femininity, this is what makes me a woman. You get so attached to that. And you know what? It's a piece of the body, it's an organ. The femininity, the feminine side of you does not live in your organ. It does not live in your vagina. It is in the energy. It is all around you. It is literally in the energy, in the ethers, whatever you want to say, it's there and it lives there, and it always was and it will always be. So once that lesson was given, it was very easy for me to understand that, you know, it's a part of the physical body, and we are so much more than the physical body. We need the body. That's what takes us through. This is our vehicle, you know. So we want to take care of it, and we do need it while we're here, but we don't want to be too over attached to it. And that's where I think we are as a society. We're over attached. So that made things a lot more clear for me. And then, not to touch on it too much, but after surgery, if you've ever had surgery and been in the hospital, then you realize how this physical body is. I mean, think about it when you die, right? If you're going in the ground, the maggots are going to get you. Once you're there, like, you realize how filthy, what a bag of bones, and just all that. You see it clearly. And I don't know, somehow you come to a point where you know that this body is just that. It's the body. It's just the body. And we are more than that. There is more that I am than the body. And there is more that I'm connected to than just what is physically seen, heard, or touched here, physically. So once those things came, it made the decision a lot easier. And actually, I made the decision before some of those things came. The date of surgery was made before these lessons were given. And I figured I could make the surgery date and always back out if I needed to, wanted to, desired to, or whatever. So I guess that's the first side of the story. And we'll get on to the next when we get on to the next. If you've made it this long, thanks for listening. If you know anyone who needs the help or needs a different perspective, I don't know. My thing is, maybe it'll help someone, because I know I went through all the videos. I went through all the internet. I did all that. I went through sitting alone. I went through it all as much as I could, you know, for a long time, and just enough is enough, you know. So, but you never, every single person that does a video or writes about it or shares their story, I think they have their own perspective to give, and it is a benefit to whoever's looking, whoever's needing something. So share it if somebody needs the help or needs something to listen to. This is just my perspective, and where I'm at thus far. Okay, thanks.